welcome everyone. This is actually International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to everyone. We are celebrating women inside the Leaders Lounge all month because A, we deserve to be celebrated, but B, in my personal walk, I have met so many amazing women who are just, as they say, doing the thing from entrepreneurship to corporate America. Next week, we have somebody who's mental health therapist, just so many wonderful aspirations that these women have and that they have pursued intentionally. And we want to celebrate them throughout the month of March. Today is no different. I'm actually excited about this person because I don't even know her that well. She and I met in Chicago. Serendipitously, I was going in the bookstore to share my books with the book owners there. She was there on kind of a quick vacation, and we met, we connected, and she is love. And so I am just honored to have her here. I'm going to read her quick bio before I bring her on. She is an author, creative entrepreneur, small business coach, and co-owner of an independent bookstore alongside her daughter, and that's in Indianapolis, Indiana. She helps individuals and business owners plan with purpose, make thoughtful decisions, and move forward with intention, even when the path is unclear. Her work is shaped by faith, love, loss, rebuilding, and the very human moments in between. While her faith is strong, she is honest enough to admit that a few curse words, may fly off the pages from time to time because growth, healing, and leadership do not always happen quietly or neatly. Leadership, love, and loss offers permission to lead while healing, reflect without shame, and discover that even after loss, purpose still has something powerful to say. And I am honored to bring on my newest friend, Miss Anna Hall. How are you, ma'am?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And thank you for having me today.
I am honored. I am honored. As I was sharing with them, we don't even know each other that well, but
We don't.
when
We
good
don't.
spirits
We align. We definitely align quickly. We
align,
align
yes,
quickly.
yes, yes. So Anna, as I shared, she has a bookstore called The Garden of Reading in Indianapolis, Indiana. We met in Chicago. She was just visiting. Was that your birthday weekend?
No, actually, it was me and my daughter's birthday is a week apart, and we didn't get to leave to do anything because of just the crazy world. So we said, well, we'll just shoot up and do Chicago and do the independent bookstores. And we had been saying we were going to go to the book joint to meet them because they're also mother and daughter. They
Right.
just weren't
Okay.
there that day. So yes, we just kind of I'm in Chicago a lot. I
Okay.
love Chicago. So
Yeah, it's only 2.5 hours from
yes, yes,
Indianapolis. So yeah, that's an easy, quick little trip. So did you enjoy your weekend?
absolutely. Every
Okay,
time I go, every time I go, yes. I go up by
always.
myself a lot,
Do
so
you?
normally,
Okay,
quite
okay.
often.
Yeah, very good, very good. So, Anna, before we get into what you do at the Garden of Reading and kind of the inspiration behind that, just share. Tell me a little bit about your background. Like, were you in corporate America at first? Were you working?
I still am. I
Oh,
still
you're still in
am.
corporate. Okay.
I am.
What
So
do
I
you
am.
do?
I am very busy, very, very busy all the time. So my actual background is new construction, real estate.
Oh,
So affordable housing. I've been in housing for 30 years,
okay.
and I had walked away. 2.5 years ago, I had walked away because at that point, first of all, it's rare that you see a black woman in new construction. Let's just say that. And
Okay.
so, been doing it, love it. I have a love for people and property. I really do. And so, they're my passion. And at one point in time, they started making me, they forgot about the people. And so, as a leader, there's no way that I can forget about the people because those are the
Right.
ones that I see every day. However, you may be my leadership and the owner of a company. It doesn't mean that you know how to lead. You knew how to organize and get your business going to get the zeros in your account. but the people in my team is keeping the zeros coming to your account.
Yes.
So when they had kind of lost a little bit about who they were and how they were treating people, I just, it wasn't about the money for me anymore. I couldn't put my name behind it. So I walked away, jumped into marketing, had been in marketing for 2.5 years, which I'd already had a background in marketing anyway, because you still have to do that when you're building new properties and all that. You still got to get them out there to the world. And
Right.
so I had jumped into that, and it just didn't feed me. It just
Okay.
didn't feed me.
Okay.
And so now I am back into property where it just is what it is. I love, love, love property. So now I'm back into affordable housing. So that's what's important for me. And so I do regional management there. I do small business coaching. I write children's books, and I do interior design. So I am kind
Okay.
of like
Hands
all over.
full, hands totally full. So give me back to when you say you were in new construction, you were there as a what? What was your
So what my role was, I was director of property management. And so what happens is we would build a property from the ground up. So that means that I would sit with the development team, I would sit with the design team as far as if the unit was going to be ADA, like just the whole shape of it, from literally from the ground all the way to the elevators being installed. I would be with the city doing inspections, so everything. Um,
okay,
some days I got on Timberland boots, and some days I got on stilettos. So it just
sure.
depends on what I'm doing for that
What we
day.
gotta do. Right.
And
Okay.
then running the properties as well, making sure that they're all filled with staff. And then
Okay.
maintenance, I had a staff of like 42 and 60, a staff of 42, and I think I had over 60 properties at one
Okay.
time.
That's fantastic. So what was your background to get into that? Were you
Business management. My degree's in business management.
awesome?
But I had
Okay.
started. Actually, I started when I was 18 years old. Before I turned 18, I started as a leasing agent. On
Okay.
the weekends, my brother used to be maintenance at an apartment complex, and they needed like somebody to work on the weekends. And I was 17 years old, and I was like, "That's going to be fun," you know what I mean? And so
Right.
I
Right.
actually started at like 17 years old as a weekend leasing agent, and then once I graduated from school and I was in college, I also went to I got hired on at affordable at a no a low income housing
Sure.
community, and
Okay.
so it was HUD based, and so I worked that for probably 5 or 6 years, and it's just been property in my blood ever since. And if you can
Okay.
start out in low income housing, and I'm talking about like Cabrini Green,
Okay.
if you can
Okay.
start out there, you can do any type of property. So all the way up to like
For
million
those
dollar homes and
okay.
businesses, commercial, everything.
Okay, got it. For those who don't know what Cabrini Green is, well,
Watch
Chicago.
Candyman.
Chicago. All right.
Watch Candyman.
Watch it. Watch Good Times.
Watch Good Times. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, very nice. Now I'm gonna, since this is the Leaders Lounge, I'm gonna ask you this question. I heard you say that you believed that at the job where you were, they were not taking care of the people. And definitely, I believe that that is the center of anybody who desires to be or wants to be a good leader has to be, first of all, a servant to and for the people. So, what specifically was it, or were there? And you don't have to get into the details of the people necessarily, but what were some of the behaviors that indicated to you that the people weren't being cared for in the way that
The behavior to me was, and here's the thing, I am the type of person that would never let things get down to my team. So
okay,
I would take it. You see what I'm saying? I would take it. I
sure,
would take it. I would take it because my skin is tough, so I can take it and brush it off and keep it moving.
right,
However, and to be honest with you, this situation, it happened to me, but it really wasn't. I guess it was directed to me and somebody else. I was in a completely different conversation. We had just came out of a pretty tough meeting, a new construction meeting, and it was pretty tough, and which is understandable because when you are doing this, the owners has a lot of money tied up in this,
mhm,
millions and millions of
right,
dollars. So if you don't meet the deadlines, those are fees that you have to pay back, interest rates, and it's just so much that goes into that. And so
sure,
this particular day, I had already been working to after midnight, making sure property inspections was being met, staff.
Yeah.
turnover was crazy. But this particular day, so I was already on burnout row. We had came out of a meeting and I was talking to another guy and I'm like, I just lost him. I knew I had just lost him and I couldn't afford to lose him.
Okay.
And he was a great guy, but he was just burnt out. He was tired.
Right.
And the reason I knew I had lost him was because he was one of the guys when he would get scolded, he would always look down
Mm-hmm.
and he would kind of just sink into himself. And this
Mm-hmm.
particular day, I literally saw him raise up and look the other people directly in their eyes. And I said, "Uh oh, uh-oh." And I'm having a whole conversation to myself and I said, uh-oh. And so when we got out the meeting and I was like, yeah, we were all getting coffee and he said, I said, yeah, that was pretty rough, but everybody's pretty tired. I was like, but we're gonna get through it together. We a strong team. So I'm like, I need this guy. I need him. He cannot
Sure.
leave me here.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said, uh-huh. He said, uh-huh. And I said, no, like for real, like we gonna make this work, right? And so the owner actually, one of the owners actually came out and heard us talking. And they said in the moment, literally, I'll never forget it, looked both of us up and down, and said, I pay people to be tired. And so it did something to my entire spirit in that moment. Like I didn't, I
Mm-hmm.
literally had to remove myself and go to my office and literally strictly go to God. It wasn't nobody else for me to go to.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
wasn't call your mama. It wasn't call
Right.
your girlfriend. It was
Right.
call Jesus. And I knew at that moment it didn't matter what I did. And so I teach this thing in classes in with my team about PTSD in the workplace. And so
Okay.
that is real. And a lot of people
It's
don't
real.
know that. And that was
Yes.
one of the reasons that I even started writing my book was that particular book is because PTSD in the workplace is real. And so when you
Yes.
always get people, when you call them to your office and they first go to is, am I in trouble? Am I in
Right.
trouble? Well,
Yeah.
I don't believe grown people get in trouble because I believe that we can figure out anything together and I will coach you
Sure.
back to life. Now, everybody is not coachable. I understand that, but I will give you the opportunity because people do hit burnout row. And if
Right.
you don't want it, then let's figure out what seat on the bus you need to be in.
That's right.
What
Yeah.
I
That's
was
right.
focused on, what seat on the bus, whether it be the bus here or whether it be the
Right.
bus somewhere else. And so that was my goal. But I was done when it came to I pay people to be tired because I don't care
Ooh.
how many zeros are behind
Right.
what you're paying me. And I was
Right.
making very good money. Let me be
Sure.
clear. The
Right.
thing to me was it wasn't about the money in the moment. And I was also going through a divorce at the same
Okay.
time. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh, now wait a minute. Now hold
Mm-hmm.
on. Now I can
Mm-hmm.
only take so much."
Right.
But one thing that is a non-negotiable for me, and it will always be in my personal, my professional life, is respect
Okay.
because I give it. So I give it,
Yes.
so I
Right.
require it. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
your skin color. I don't care how much money you have in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
your money. Them are your zeros. They don't. Yes,
Right.
you may give me a salary every 2 weeks, but if
Right.
there's somebody else that will give me a salary every 2 weeks, I didn't go pay all this money for a degree for nothing.
Sure.
Degree or no
Right.
degree, I
Sure.
know that I have something behind me
Right. Exactly.
and
That's
I
right.
know who I am as a
Absolutely.
person. So I
Right.
left a lot of money on the table when I walked away. I left
Yeah.
money and a husband.
But hey, and you're still standing. Still
And
standing.
I'm still
Hello.
standing. Not only am I still standing, and I use that as a testimony. Not only am I still standing, I literally walked away, and I'm a very transparent person.
Yes.
I don't like people who gatekeep.
Right.
I walked away $30,000. I took a job $30,000 less, over
Mm-hmm.
$30,000 less.
Mm-hmm.
Took a
Mm-hmm.
job because at this big age, I'm
Mm-hmm.
50, but at this
Mm-hmm.
big age, you see things different. Your benefits come differently. And so I took a job
Mm-hmm.
that was way less, but I'll tell you how God moves. I ended up selling my home, buying a house with a bigger mortgage, which was
Mm-hmm.
crazy, but I did
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I love the house. Built a business. I had already
Mm-hmm.
had a bookstore, but I
Mm-hmm.
had like a suite. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
God
Right.
has blessed me with 4 rooms now.
That
You see what I'm saying?
part.
And you
Exactly.
just don't know when God has you aligned and you do right by people, people do right by you.
That's
And
right.
so blessings have just
Yeah.
without God, it's strictly Him. It ain't me. It's strictly Him.
Yeah.
I just told Him, "This is what I want. This is." They say, "Ask for what you want, pray for what you want, but be careful what you pray for because sometimes you're gonna get it and you got to be
Yeah.
ready." And so,
Absolutely. Yes.
and He
Exactly.
blessed me with it with way less money, and I have not missed a beat. So you
No.
can't tell me that God don't show up when He does, and He makes things happen.
He always does. He always
Absolutely,
does. And I always tell
absolutely,
people, I may not be rich yet, but I am wealthy.
I,
Because you know what? Every day I wake up,
every day.
I'm walking in his purpose for my life. And once
Absolutely.
and that's what you did. I mean, you
Yeah.
said, "Hey, I know that the behaviors that I'm seeing are not in alignment with his purpose for my life and how I want others to be treated and how I want to be treated. So I'm going to have to make the
Yes.
adjustment." And look what he does. Look what
And
he
it is, and
is
that's
and
why I'm
is doing.
so big on customer service,
That's right.
because you go
Yes.
so many places. You can go to the grocery store and you can say excuse me, and the people just look like they won't say excuse me to cross in front of you. And like, I'm just like, how was you raised? Who raised you? Or speaking when you walk in a room. Yes, I might be your establishment, but I walked in like I walked in here today at the bookstore. There are customers in here. I'm
Right.
not. I ain't got to see what I'm saying. Y'all here before me. So,
Right.
but I'm gonna always speak no matter what, no matter who you are. So, I a wall if it's all right.
Right.
So
Which like as when we met. I mean, again, you didn't know me, I didn't know you, but I think we aligned on that part. Like, I mean, we both were just friendly to each other, and then now, here we are on the podcast a couple of
the
months
hustle
later.
match, the hustle match, it really
The
did.
hustle
It,
match.
it the
That's what you
hustle
said.
match,
That's
it
what you
really
said.
did. Mhm, mhm,
Yeah, you're
mhm.
like, I like people who's serious. And you look like you're
And
serious.
I literally, I just had a, because I do networking events too, free in my store to
Uh-huh.
small businesses. So I do small business coaching individually where I do get paid for that. But I
Okay.
also put on events free as
Okay.
well, to give the nuggets that are needed for people. So
Yes.
that's the thing about where I do set myself apart is everything is not about a dollar because my
No,
blessings come in different ways.
that's
And
right.
so sometimes we live in a microwave world and we live in a very
Uh-huh.
greedy world. And
Right.
so I know that God has covered me, and I know God has opened up doors for me where people have given me, just discounts like on my spaces that I've rented
Sure.
before and all that
Right.
stuff. And so I have to be mindful of that. So I find ways to be able to give back where I can, when I can. And I can't
Right.
always, but 9 times out of 10, I am finding a way, whether that be knowledge, whether that be books in the store. Right now, I'm getting ready to send a package out to a little girl. I have no clue who this little girl is. I don't know her dad. I seen him online, and I was so taken back that the dad was getting her on her reading journey. I don't even know if she. I would say
Mm,
she's probably about a third or fourth grader. Maybe I
okay.
more probably less about a third grader. I'm not quite for sure.
Right.
But I seen him, and he was doing this book haul with his daughter, and she was so
Okay.
excited, and he was excited, and I was excited, and I didn't even know these
Okay.
people. So I inboxed them, and I was like, I love what you're doing. I would love to see more dads do this. I'm not a crazy person in your inbox. I literally own a bookstore. Here's
Sure.
my platform. And I was like, I would like to send your daughter something. So
Oh,
I'm in the process right now of putting together her little package that I'm sending to her.
that is such a
Just and he
blessing.
don't have like no huge following, so this isn't
Yes.
about recognition. That post hadn't went, it should have went viral, hadn't went viral or anything like that. But we don't see that too often in our
Right.
community. So
Right.
for me, that's why I do this. So
Yes.
and I do it
Yes.
because this was not my passion. It was my daughter's passion. Let me be
Oh,
real
the
clear.
bookstore. In
The
fact,
bookstore
let's
was her.
get to that because
Yes.
that for those people who are watching and see that beautiful background, this is inside of Anna and her daughter's Brianna, right? Uh,
Brianna. Uh-huh.
Brianna's their bookstore in Indianapolis called the Garden of Reading. So I'm gonna have you walk around in a minute, but tell me what inspiration. How did it happen?
So how it happened was, we're very, very big readers in my family.
Okay.
Myself, my daughter, my mom, we just love, love, love books.
Okay.
And so what had happened was my son had graduated from college and was in the process of graduating from college. And my daughter just happened to be hanging out with her dad and her bonus mom, and they're all hanging out or whatever. And they had a conversation. And so he had brought up, and he was like, well, what do you want to do with your life? And, as your adult, because he is a dad. He is, don't
Okay.
matter how she's 30 now, but it doesn't matter. She will always be his little girl. So
Right.
he's having the conversations with her. Well, what do you want to do when you grow up? And blah, 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 blah. And so she was like, I want a brick and mortar. And I knew she wanted a brick and mortar. And
Sure.
so he was like, oh, you want a brick and mortar store? And so he called me like a couple of days later. He's like, hey, you know your daughter wanted a brick and mortar store? I was like, mm-hmm, yep, I knew. You got some
Right.
money. You know what I mean? So um, and so then I kept saying, all this girl talks about is a brick and mortar, a brick and mortar. And I was like,
Sure.
Lord, you have allowed me to do so many things through you.
Yes.
And I said, I even got this boy through school. Like, we got these kids through college. Like, I don't know how I did this, but you have made a way. And I said, Lord,
Sure.
if it is meant for us to have this, you will make a way. So I until started looking for a space. But I was looking for a space for also what I wanted to do. And so what I wanted was a building, and I wanted suites where I can
Mhm.
have different artists in there to lease out to them, with a common area where they can also
Sure.
host shows and all that type of
Okay.
stuff. But
Okay.
then I also wanted to incorporate the bookstore in one of those suites as well, and just bring it all together, right?
Right.
Cohesive. And so, in the midst of me looking for that, I got a building, secured a building. The building was a crappy building, but mind you, I'm in new construction. I
Yeah.
know people, so I
Yeah.
can get this. It wasn't bad enough where I couldn't get it done.
Sure.
So I was going to put 11 suites in the building, and I had two retail spaces that were up front that had their own doors,
Okay.
and I was able to get this building. They gave it to me at a great rate, and they also
Okay.
were going to give me 6 months off for deferred maintenance, and that's all the
Okay.
maintenance you have to do behind the scenes.
Sure.
Great package or whatever. Long short, what happened was they would approve for the building. We're going to move in it in a couple of weeks. Going to sign the lease June 1st. The lady who was running it said, "Hey, the owner wants to talk to you. They saw your POA, which is a plan of action,
Uh-huh.
and he would like to talk to you." Perfectly fine. So we get on the phone. We get on a Zoom, and now mind you, on paper, the name Anna does not resonate as a black woman. Let's be real
Ah.
clear.
Mm.
So we get on there, and you can literally, I can't make this up. You can literally see him go like,
Mm.
"Oh, hello," and I'm like,
Okay.
"Oh, did he rear back?" And I said, "Hello," and so he was like, "Really nice to meet you." So he starts fumbling with the papers, and so I knew he had my plan of action in his lap, and so he's
Sure.
going through it. He was
Uh-huh.
like, "This is a pretty good plan of action. What you're planning on doing here?" And he was like, "Well, how do you know the term white boxing, and how do you know deferred maintenance, and how do you know?" And I said, "Well, I've been in new construction for over 30 years." So he was like, "Yeah, because you sure negotiated, getting 6 months off and blah blah blah." So did, and
You said
and
did?
so he finally was. It was good talking to you after we had our little conversation. He had her call. He said she'll be in touch with you, and she'll get the lease right over to you. And good luck with your adventure. Whatever. Bye. See you later. He got phone quick, and I was like, everything's good. She called me within a couple of hours, and she said, "Hey, I'm shooting the lease over to you. He just changed a few things."
Things.
And I
Okay.
said, "Oh, okay. So let me look at it." So he had went from, because it was 1750 a month is what they leased to me at, and he had now went to 2850 a month. If he was going to give me the 6 months off, he went to 2850. Okay, because now he knew that I was going to have 11 suites in there. Now he's counting my pocket. So then he said if he doesn't give me the 6 months off, he's going to give it to me for 2250. So
Mm.
I guess the 17 just went out the window that
Right,
you had. So
right, right.
I said, well, okay. Well, what changed? And she said, well, sometimes he's just like that. And they're in Texas, mind you. They're not here in the city. And I said, well, I can tell you what changed, because my credit didn't change.
Right,
My deposit didn't change.
right.
Um, the only thing could have possibly changed is that he realized Anna was a black woman, and she wasn't a stupid black woman. And
Mm.
she had a plan, because you have to have a plan. Now, it may not always work, but you
Right.
better go in with some type of plan, and an A,
Yes.
B, and C plan.
Right,
And
right.
so that was going to be the birth of the actual bookstore. It was going to be
Sure.
a part in there. Well,
Right.
I backed out. And mind you,
Okay.
I had already paid for tankless water heaters, HVAC systems. I had the electrician people come out. I paid for the surveys. I had already spent money. And so she's like, "No, Anna, you already spent money." And I said, "That's okay. I can sell a dead man a casket. So don't worry about what I
All
spent.
right now.
Well,
Okay.
what I will not is align myself with someone who means me no good."
That
And
part.
so I backed out. And then at that point, my daughter and my son, they was just kind of like, "Whoa, we're not getting the store." And I found another place, which was a suite. The suite,
Okay.
girl, I promise you, it wasn't no bigger than 300 some square feet. I promise you it
Okay.
wasn't. And
Okay.
so my daughter knew nothing about it. And so I said, "You got crawl before you walk."
Right.
So I seen the suite, and the lady was like, she wanted like $600 or something for the suite.
Sure.
And she was
Okay.
like, "What are you trying to do?" And I said, "Well, my daughter really wants a bookstore." And she was like, "But this isn't a suite." I said, "It is." And I said, "But you have to crawl before you walk." And she said, "Well, can she afford it?" I said, she ain't got no money. So she said, "Can you afford it?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I can afford it." And she said, "I got to be honest with you," because I had told her what happened at the other place, and she said,
Uh-huh.
"Yep, that was because you was a woman of color." And
Okay.
she was not a woman of color. She also
Okay.
she was an older. She reminded you of Miss Santa Claus, and
Right.
she said, I got to be honest with you. I don't want to disrespect you. She said, but I don't see many minority parents doing something like this for their kids these days. And so she
Mhm.
said, I don't need this money. She said, can you pay cash? I said, what you talking about? So
Right.
she went from $600, I'll never forget, to $375 a month. And she said, if you could pay me, and she said, and you on time and you ain't never late. She said, I'm gonna bless you with this. And she was like, I won't even lock you in for a 3-year lease. She said, you could,
Whoa.
she said, and I was like, God must really
Oh
want me
my
to do this. So I
goodness.
did it, and we had like 9 shelves around that little room. And
Um,
when I brought my daughter to see it, she was like, what we gonna do with this little room? And
uh,
ain't got a dollar, face toe up. You hear me? And so I said, well, what's the name of your bookstore? And she said, The Garden of Reading. And I said, The
oh,
Garden of Reading, like the Garden of Eden. I said, okay, well, it's going to be the
oh,
Garden of Reading book closet. And I
okay.
did book closet because I also do interior design. So I always have leftover stuff that I'm always selling or getting rid of. And I was like, I'm going to make a little store in there as well, just
Okay.
like thrift store, like kind of like
Right.
that you can get home goods and stuff.
Right.
And so we made it the Garden of Reading book closet, and we were there for like a year. And
Okay.
when that lease was up, I said, and we people was coming. When I God said, if you build it, they'll come. They was coming to
Oh,
that little suite. You hear me?
won't it?
and
Oh
and
my
so
goodness.
we were doing marketing. I used my marketing tools that I had learned. And so I kept looking and kept looking, and I said, well, I said, when this lease is up, I can't tell her we leaving here. But I
Mm,
traveled so much for work, I did not want, you couldn't see what was coming at you. And as young and as
sure.
we need to know what's coming at us as women. And so,
Right.
and you couldn't control the other clientele that was in the building as well.
Okay.
So they're customers. And so I wanted to make sure that my customers was comfortable. Ain't nobody coming in smelling all like marijuana and everything. I
Okay.
wanted to have a very professional and inviting place.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we went home for probably about 7 months. I built our online store. We're also online. I
Okay.
built our online store, and then I started doing something in the city where if you purchase from me in the city, within 20 minutes from me, I'll bring you your no shipping. We'll deliver it. So
Okay.
now we're delivering stuff sometimes the same day. And people are like,
Okay.
girl, I just paid for it and I got it an
Better
hour later.
than Amazon. This is
Yeah,
better
because
than
but it's called customer service. It's
That's
called
what it's
customer
called.
service.
That's what it's called.
And yes, and
Exactly.
so we were showing up for people, and so I just happened to be scrolling one day looking and found this building, and I was like, what we gonna do with this? And I said, I bet I can do something with that building. And I just asked to see it. It was a mess. It was a mess. I mean, three
Okay.
layers of flooring and everything.
Wow.
And I talked to the people, and I said, I think I'm a boy in a skirt anyway, and I can build anything. So
Okay.
me and my daughter did it. I mean, there's videos on our webs on our socials that show us literally rolling back carpet, painting
Wow.
up and down on ladders, like we did the whole building. And we're still
Okay.
doing it. Like I'm always tearing them something. She'll be
Oh
like,
my
what you about
goodness.
to do? I'll
That
be
is
like,
fantastic.
yeah.
I'm gonna get you to walk in one moment. I just gotta ask you one quick question. So you're saying that the place where you were paying a 375, it was a good place, but the environment around it was not what you wanted?
It wasn't. It was a great place. I mean, it was
Okay.
clean. It was nice,
Okay.
great area. The
Uh-huh.
problem was, you got to realize I was in a suite, so I didn't have a street view. You see what
Got
I'm
it.
saying? So people
Okay,
had
got
to
you.
know that we were there and
I
strictly
see.
come to be there with
Right.
us. And
Okay.
there's other clients in the building, so you just never know what clientele they were going to have. Like there was a trucking company in there, so that's a bunch of men running in and out. You know what I mean?
Understandable.
I
Right.
got a
Okay.
daughter.
Yeah.
There was a hairstylist in there, wax, net.
Okay.
It was everything in there. So.
I see. Okay, I got you.
I
I got
needed my own door. I
you
wanted
need
my own
your own
door.
door. I got
Hmm.
it. Okay. And so now here we are. We're at the Garden of Reading. So
We're
Anna,
at the
show us
garden.
a little bit. I'm gonna
Okay.
have to walk around and show y'all. I will say, as she's saying that, my books are both there.
Hold on. I don't even need you to show that because you on the
Oh,
shelf,
I
girl.
don't
You
need to
on
say
the
that.
shelf.
Okay.
Hold
Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Okay.
on. So yeah, you on the shelf, girl. This in you for real in the store. You in the
Okay
store.
now. Okay.
So
Look at
this
that
right
background,
here,
y'all.
this is one room, and so you will see a lot of pink green stuff. I am
Yes.
not an AKA, but we support and we love everybody. So
Right.
this is one room right here. The room that I'm in right now is you have some locals in here, and I also have on the wall that you can kind of see we're at Clean Boulevard because everything
Okay.
ain't full of smut.
Right.
Teen Lane, Local Lane, because there's some locals
Okay.
in here, but I ended up doing something different with the locals as well, because people still judge books by its cover. And
Yes.
so I feel like when they see that it's a local, that they may be like, Oh, well, they don't talk about nothing. So I started taking the locals and intertwining them with the rest of the book. So you don't know who you're
Okay.
getting. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Exactly.
So,
That's
and
true.
it just makes
It's
more
almost
sense.
like family. Family
Absolutely. So
feel
this is
understood.
another
Yeah.
room right
Uh-huh.
here. So
Uh-huh. Okay. Oh,
and around here. So
beautiful. Oh,
yes, so this is
gorgeous.
another room, and we got so many bookshelves. We have merch closets. It's
Wow.
just yeah, and they can definitely follow us and stuff. We have a coffee station.
Oh my
People can come in and
goodness.
get
So they can come
coffee.
in and have coffee.
Got a
Is it
wine
free
bar.
coffee or is that
It's hot
complimentary?
chocolate. Oh, it's hot chocolate. It's tea. It's coffee. It's
Nice.
creamers. It's cappuccinos. Girl, it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
We actually serve wine to our customers sometimes on Saturdays when they're here. Do cheese trays and stuff like that when they're here.
Nice.
For the ones that are 21 and over, we will do that. We have also created now a cute little selfie studio where you can come back here and snap up pictures.
You can buy a
Um,
book, y'all,
you can
and
do
take
all
a
that. Hold on, we even
selfie with
got.
your
Let me see if
book.
you can see the
That
phone. We even got the old school telephone back here. The
oh
old school cute
no,
little
that
telephone.
is
So
cute. Nice. And is
we
that
have
the
that.
rotary? That's a rotary, isn't it?
Yes, it
Oh
is. Yes, it is. And it's a real phone. And so we have
my
books. Books are still all back here as well.
gosh.
Like I
Okay.
just kind of just did a hodgepodge, like the little retro lamp, stuff like that
Yes.
I did.
Very.
So we're going to do a book wall because we're going to be a part of the indie book crowd, independent bookstores. It's
Okay.
30 of them in it, and it goes from March 19th through the 21st or 22nd.
Okay.
And you just they crawl. It's a crawl, and so they go all
Okay.
around there. And so then our other room, because we have four rooms, our other room, this is the main room. Um, so the main room, you got to read that at the top because that's so
To
dope.
accomplish great things, we must not only dream, but we also must plan. Oh, and believe. Also
Yep.
believe.
Yep,
Yes, that's
yep.
it. You
So
gotta do
this
it.
one right
Yes.
here, so
Uh
this
huh.
room right here, is our other main
Beautiful.
room.
It is
Yep.
absolutely gorgeous. Oh my
And so
goodness.
that is, then you can see that is Brianna. Say, hey,
Hey,
Bri.
Brianna,
That's
how
my daughter.
are
And then we have the fireplace
you?
going.
Okay.
And so
Very
that's one of
nice.
my little projects that I flipped a piece of furniture, retro furniture that we found. I flipped it. So yeah, so it's ours and we love it.
I know. How long have you all been in there?
We came here in April of
Okay.
last year, and we
Okay.
opened our doors. We opened our doors in June.
Oh my goodness. So
Yeah,
from it only took y'all 2 months to get it like that?
but we was working. But we was working.
I
Let me
know
tell
y'all
you,
were working.
we
I
was working.
know.
And then, so something you could not see
Uh-huh.
was so that makes the garden effect. I have turf all throughout. Can you see the green turf?
Yes, I
So
see it.
I
Yes.
have green turf all throughout. So
Okay.
yeah, so it
Okay.
literally looks
Nice.
like an actual garden when you come in.
Oh, very nice. That is beautiful. I know she's happy that
Yes, I had. Let me tell you, we had a funeral last weekend. My uncle passed
uh-huh,
away, and so I said,
uh-huh,
she was like, "We just got to close the store and just go in later." And I said, "Well, we're not gonna close the store. I have somebody work in the store, which was my
right.
best friend. She will show up and do anything."
Okay.
And she was like, "Somebody's working our store?" Like, and I'm like, "She's only been in our life for 35 years. What are you talking about?
Like,
She's
this
working
is
the
my
store."
baby.
I was like, "So your store will be open. It'll be secure. It'll be all the things."
Uh-huh.
But girl, she don't even want nobody to work. She don't even
She
want to come. She
didn't.
was like, "I don't want to have to ever hire nobody." And I said, "Girl, yes, you do, because I want more than one location. So at some point you're gonna get tired. This is 50 right here. See, you just 30. I'm 50. So we do want somebody. So
I'm gonna
eventually we
tell
do
you.
pray that our next that we are manifesting is owning our own building.
Okay.
We do a lot of merch,
Yes.
lot of merch. Like one of the things I got on now, it says, I don't know if you can see it, but it says soulfully booked.
Okay. Okay.
Soulfully booked.
Okay. Okay.
And so
I
we got
love that.
a lot of cute things.
Now,
But
do you design those or do you have
I
other?
no, I do. I have a bunch.
Okay.
We got beautifully booked. We have Brown
Nice.
Girls Read, Bookish Babe, Bookish Culture. We have so many sweatshirts. It's
Okay.
just crazy. We have pillows,
Very nice.
pillow covers and stuff that we made. So there's so
Yes.
much that we have done here to just we want it to be different. We have custom posters that I
Excuse
have
me.
made,
Mhm.
custom wood
Okay.
bookmarks that I have made. We do quite a bit. We do, like,
Very
people are
nice.
really amazing, but we cater to all walks of life. And so Another thing that we do, so for, let me get this right, LGBTQIA. I think I got it all the letters. We
T.
take,
One is
t- yeah,
you do
plus, yes.
LGBTQIA, right?
So we take our books, and on my books, I put a little band, a cute little rainbow sticker at the end of them.
Okay.
And so they know, like, you're well, everyone is welcome here.
Everybody's welcome. That is
Everybody.
a
So,
beautiful
and
thing.
so
Yes.
I had one lady come in and she said, "This is a great idea, but how come you don't put them all in one area?" And I said, "Because you know I'm black, right? We don't segregate over here." So we don't do that. We're not gonna put them all in one area. We're not gonna do that. So they're all throughout the store. And so, but I
Okay.
want everyone to know that they're welcome here. And
That
so
is so sweet.
and if people are like on our TikTok and stuff and know, they know now that they come in here and have a great time. Yesterday it was about 30 people in here.
Okay.
And when I walked in, my daughter was like, "See what happens when you leave?" And I was like, "I just ran up the street." And
Wow.
next thing I know, I come in and I was like, "Well, I think it's time to pour up some wine." So I opened up wine, I opened up sparkling cider, and
Okay.
just poured out
Okay.
to, and every and I was, soon as I said, "Anybody want sparkling cider or wine?" Heads was turning. Heads was
Like
turning. So we try to set ourselves apart to be different.
that's very nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. I told you if you ever get a chance to go to Atlanta, my friend Morris in
I'll
Morris.
be there in April. I'll be there in April.
Okay, Morrow, Georgia. You gotta check out Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. He's been doing it for 25 years. And to Brianna's point, no employees. He doesn't even want them.
No,
He's
she
like,
don't
I've
want
done
them.
it. His store is huge. You'll see when you go there. Please make sure you go and
I'm
tell him I
going.
said
I'm
his
gonna
name
make
is Marcus.
sure.
Yes, okay. I
Matter
think
of fact, I want you
28.
to. I definitely want you to link us up beforehand,
Okay,
so I can
I
definitely tell
will.
him that I'm coming. Yes, I'll be there in April for my brother's wedding engagement dinner party.
Okay, okay. I will definitely link y'all up. He'll be happy to see you. What's the address there? I'm gonna put it right here in the banner, right quick.
Our address here is 8601
8601.
East 10th Street.
East 10th Street.
Yep, and that's Indianapolis, Indiana
Okay.
46219.
46219.
And then when people, if they decide to follow us online, they can also go and see our link because we're also online too at Shop the Garden of Reading. But Reading is READIN, no G.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Shop the Garden of Reading. Okay.
.com. Yes. And so they can also follow us on any platform. If they Google the exact same name or put that in, they'll see us. They trust me, they can't miss us when they type on them, see the pictures with all the flowers around it. And there
Right.
is another one out there, but that one is no longer around. This is when you type in garden. So you'll definitely see us because we have a ring of flowers as our logo. So
Okay. Okay. Good. So shop the Garden of Reading online, anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok too.
yes, and that's our website is Shop the Garden of Reading, www.shopthegardenofreading.com,
Okay.
and we also ship and everything. We ship books and everything, and we're going to be
Okay.
loading all of our sweatshirts and stuff up on there as well.
And that's okay. Great. That's
hmm
great. So before we wrap up, I got a couple of quick fire questions for you. What's your favorite book?
Oh my God, coldest winter ever, hands down, forever.
Coldest winter ever. Okay.
It will
Okay.
always stay on our shelf. It's nostalgia. It will always be on our shelf. When it's sale, I got to put it right back.
Okay.
Yes.
What is one either word of inspiration, saying that you would say to inspire women who are either seeking to go into business for themselves, seeking to be professionals in the workplace? What is your
Do
word
it.
of inspiration? Do
Do
it.
it. If God gives you a vision and when God talks to you, he talks
Mm-hmm.
loud. And so a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
when God talks to me, I tell you, I can't even make this up. I had went to Essence Fest last year, and we had forgot that we was almost 50 and was having a great time. And so we get to the airport, I'm exhausted, tired. I'm on that plane just sleepy. Every time I turned, God was giving me a chapter and a verse for my book, giving
Okay.
it to me. And I'm like, Jesus, why you always come to me when I sleep? I love my sleep, right?
Right,
But
right.
when God is talking to you and God gives you a vision, he doesn't give you a vision to sit it on a shelf. So
Nope.
I will always say tap into that, listen to him. And it doesn't have to be in everybody else's time frame. It's in his time framing and your time framing. So
That's right.
there is no reason to rush if you don't have to. And so sometimes when you rush, you mess up. And you
Mm-hmm.
also have to leave room for error and be prepared for error, because error is going to happen. You're going to
Yep.
spend money that is dumb, that
Right.
you like, oh, I could have did this better. I could have did this,
Right.
because it's all a learning process. And so that
Mm-hmm.
is why I got into the small business coaching, because I can actually talk to people and actually say, but I challenge them as well. And I also
Right.
pushed. I will say, hey, I got clients in Texas, Atlanta, DC. I got clients everywhere, and I'll tell them, hey, I will drop you, because it's not always about the money. Because I also charge a very small rate, because we're small businesses growing, and so I'm not hungry like that. I'm hungry for this and for God.
Right.
I'm not hungry. Like God is going to bless me in different ways and platforms. So
Right.
there's no need for me to go and charge you a boatload of money when you're still trying to build your business. But if
Right.
you're not serious, if you're not serious, I will tell you, hey, I'm still your friend. I still got you. We can hee ha ha and like an emoji. But my time is valuable, so I'm not going to
Right.
waste it with you if you're not ready. So if he gives you a
Absolutely.
vision, tap into that vision, figure out what it is. What is that nug tugging on you, because he's telling you something. Listen.
Right. Right. And
Yep.
do it. And do
And
it.
do it. Just
When
do it. Yeah.
he whispers, I love what you say, because you have got to, number one, that's why I like to be in a quiet space sometimes. Just I'm not talking. I'm just
Yeah, you can't fail.
that's when I
To me,
can
failure
really
is not trying. You
right,
can't fail because you
right,
tried it. It doesn't mean sometimes you may have to pivot and
right.
figure out a different way to make it
That's right.
happen. But you
That's
you
right.
you're not gonna fail. You
You're
gonna
not
if you
yeah.
fail, it's because it was a choice that you chose to fail. You see,
That's
because
right.
don't get me wrong, the world is a little crazy now, but
Yeah.
sometimes you have to crawl before you walk. Don't get out here and think you got to sit here and match
No.
up with the Joneses. There is bigger bookstores out here. There will always be a Barnes and Noble and all this stuff. They
Right.
got way more money than I got. And I'll
Right.
tell you one thing, but I can go in their store, and I just did it because I still frequent the stores. I could go in their store and I can tell you our section. We got two rows on the bottom shelf. We didn't even have a Black History Month display in there, and they
Okay.
got way more money. And so
Right.
I'm not saying don't go there. I'm just saying don't forget about your independent bookstores, because they are really, really any small business these days.
Right.
If you know somebody in a small business in today's times,
Uh-huh.
please support them. And it doesn't always have to be $1. It could be you sharing it.
That's
That's the
right.
biggest thing, sharing their information with somebody else, sharing
That's
their
right.
post,
That's right.
communicating in their post. That helps them as well. So
That's right. Absolutely. That is so true. Now, I heard you say a couple of times you've written a book. What's your book? What's the name of your book?
I have Leadership, Love, and Loss is the one that I'm finishing up right now, and that's a part of the
Okay.
coaching as well. And then I'm
Okay.
also creating a small business coaching journal that will go along with that as well.
Okay.
And then I have also written children's books, and so I've written one with my son. That's Boys to Men. That takes
Oh,
little boys on their journey of responsibility from cleaning their room to their first job and car. He
okay.
works at Anna's Hut.
Oh, nice.
And then
Okay.
I have girl time with my daughter, and that is a girlfriend relationship built through cheerleading through school
Okay.
with no color boundaries.
Very
So you can
nice.
have friends from all walks of life.
That's
And
right.
then my last one that I just dropped here recently was Pretty and Plus, and
Okay.
that is a mom taking her daughter on a healthy journey. That's showing her that she can still be pretty, she can be cool, the cool kid in
Yeah.
school, and plus size. And that ventures off into getting her on her healthy journey, that you can still have a cheeseburger and a shake within moderation. But then I
Right.
also incorporated a real recipe in the book as well, because my next
Okay.
kids book will be a kids recipe book.
Ooh.
So it definitely will be a kids cookbook. And so the recipe in there is a collard green soup that is so good.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. That is excellent. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Last question for you. What woman inspires you?
Oh my gosh. My mom was a hustler. My grandma was a hustler. My great grandma. So I have to say that, like, my great grandmother, and I tell my kids all the time, oh, I used to shovel coal. They'd be like, Mama, shut up. I'd be like, no, for real though. So my great grandmother, she had a store on the avenue right across from the Madam C.J. Walker. They were the first two Black women down there on the avenue with businesses.
Okay.
So Madam C.J. Walker was there first, and my grandmother, Lavelda Wiseman, was second, and she had a thrift store. And so I used to go in
Wow.
and put the coal in me and my brothers put the coal into the oven to get the store warm for the customers that would come in. And then my mom also ended up, oh, well, then my grandmother, my grandmother had a cleaning service, and she would iron for people. She would iron their,
Interesting.
She would iron their clothes and take care of them. And then my mom opened up a hair salon on the avenue as well, right across from the Madam CJ Walker, and actually 2 doors down from where my great grandmother had her business
Okay.
years prior. And so
Yes.
my hustle spirit comes deep, so
Okay.
it hits right there. And so
Yeah.
they're my inspiration. And then
Okay.
my daughter and my kid. It's not even just women, but my daughter and my son, for sure, hands down. Like they give me
Excellent.
in the drive because I want them to see that sometimes you don't have to know nothing. You can know. I know a little about a lot of things, and so, but
Hmm.
I never knew that I would own a business to this magnitude, and I didn't know that this is something that God would allow me to do to help other
Hmm.
people. And so,
Hmm.
I want them to show that you can build something out of nothing. And we didn't know. I still figure it out every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every day. I tell people that. Say that again.
Yeah.
Every
Every
day,
day.
every day. But
Every
the
day.
one thing that I can't do is give up on me. I'm not gonna give up on me.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. Yeah. Yeah.
I may have to rest through it, pray through it,
You do.
strategize through it,
You do.
but I'm
But
not giving up
everybody's
on me.
not hungry. And so that's the thing you have to
Everybody's not.
realize is.
That's
And
right.
so when sometimes you think, oh, when you're jumping on your kids and you need to be doing this, you need to be doing this, or I went to school to be this and you should do this. No, 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 no. That was your path. That's not
Right.
necessarily their path. And a lot of
That's
times
right.
people will do something because they want to obey and honor their parents. And but I will always honor and obey my parents. However, I always will dance and beat to this own drum over
That's
here.
right. Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, I it's gonna be me, and so
It's,
I gotta figure this thing called life out.
that's
And life
right.
is real, and it be life in
And
sometimes.
it
So,
lives. That's
hmm
right. That's right.
so
But you,
I'm not gonna ever be scared. And so I challenge people:
no.
don't be scared. Do not be scared.
Mm-mm,
Just
mm-mm.
talk to people. Feel free to talk
Right.
to people. Listen to people. Don't think you know everything because I
Right.
promise you, you don't. You can. You.
Right.
I'm 50, and I
Right.
still learn new things every single day.
Every single day. In fact, girl, it's in this season, and I be telling people, I feel like I'm just figuring it out. So it's like y'all be talking about, child, it's
Yes,
I am just
yes.
figuring it out.
Your whole
And enjoy it.
you used to listen to our parents say stuff like that, girl, when you get 50, you can say whatever. You can in moderation and respectfully. However, you do think different. Your
You
thinking
think
pattern is
differently.
so different.
That's
It's
right.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, one thing I can do, I can't see for nothing. I am blind as a
Mhm.
bat, but
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you this, but
Vision,
my vision. I
girl.
may not be able to see and need things, but
Okay.
my internal vision and my mental
Woo.
my vision is something
Mhm.
like I don't play
Mhm.
about me and I don't play about
Mhm.
mine.
I don't
So
play.
I work too hard.
I am 100% with you on all of that.
Yep.
On all of that. Yes. Well,
Yep.
you know what, Miss Anna Hall? I am so just grateful that our paths crossed
I am too.
and
Thank you.
that we both had, as I've heard Michelle Obama say, you have to keep an aperture. You have to be open to the possibilities and to always learning and meeting new people wherever you go.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm just so glad that your aperture was open to get to know me a little bit as mine was for you because like you say, the spirits aligned and here we are. And there'll probably be other opportunities for us to get together.
Absolutely. I definitely have to shout out to the book joint. They don't even know that they made a connection and they weren't even there.
Yes.
But I will definitely get back in to meet them when I'm there this summer because
Yes.
it's just a goal of mine, them and a few other stores there, Honey Cream and
Right.
stuff, because I believe in this. And it doesn't matter what city I'm in, I am going to hit the
Yeah,
independent bookstores, no matter
absolutely.
vacation, no matter who I'm with, the beach.
That's right.
Uber gonna take me over here and I'll be
Okay.
back to the beach and to the bar
It's
later. So
It's
yes.
important. It's important.
It
Yes,
is.
yes.
It is.
Well, thank you so much. Stay right there 1 second. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna wrap up and then
Absolutely.
come back and say bye. Hold on. So
Okay.
stay right there. Hold on. All right, guys. Please make sure to check out the Garden of Freedom bookstore online. If you are in Indianapolis, go to 8601 East 10th Street in Indiana and go check it out. Remember, at the World Class Training Institute, we seek to maximize human capital through the delivery of leadership and professional development training. As Anna said, both of these books are at her store, and you can also get them online as well. So at worldclasstraining.net. Um, for these, or you can get them on her site as well. I believe they're on her website also. And always remember, at the World Class Training Institute and at the Leaders Lounge, when you are better, we are absolutely better. Take care.